Hey friends, I'm Dan Foulds, and this is Rubbin' and Grubbin'. We talk about NASCAR racing and good food right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe. So if you're used to watching this show, right away you're going to notice something different. My co-host and my brother from another mother, Brandon Bain, is under the weather tonight. So Brandon, I'm thinking about you. So it's time for the Rubbin' and Grubbin' word of the day. If you're over 21 years of age, as I am, play along, and when you hear me utter the word, which I have no idea what this word is, because by the magic of computers and technology, the brains behind the camera, who's standing over there behind where you can't see him, Lawrence Bennett, is going to put a word up over my head. And in the event that I say that word, I don't know what it is, we're going to do this. We're going to take a sip of our favorite adult beverage. Tonight's word of the day is... So when you hear it, cheers. This is a NASCAR show, and I am pretty stoked about the fact that we are only 24 days away from the green flag dropping for the Super Bowl of racing, the Daytona 500. And I think I'm going, and I'm hoping that Brandon is going to go with me. Go down, it's about 3.5 hours to get in a car, ride from Savannah down to Daytona, go check out that race. Speaking of that race, Derrike, who won the 1990 Daytona 500, is getting another shot at the Great American Race. It's being billed as his final Daytona 500 start. The younger than me, 62-year-old Cope will drive the number 15 Chevrolet for Rick Ware Racing. This team has a charter guaranteeing Cope a starting spot in the race. You know, it's cool. That's cool, man. That is just freaking spectacular. 62-year-old dude going to get out there with, little kids. And they're all going to be going 200 miles an hour. How about that? Hey, so Spire Motorsports announced Tuesday that Jamie McMurray will return to the NASCAR Cup Series competition next month. He'll be driving the number 77 Chevrolet in the Daytona 500. And if you've been watching this show for a while, you know that number 77, that number keeps popping up. And there was a time when Big's ancestor drove a number 77 race car. And the two numbers 77 was a pair of smoking hot ladies' legs wearing nylon pantyhose. 77. Yes, we have an affinity for 77 right here. McMurray last completed in NASCAR's top division in 2019. He joined Fox Sports as a NASCAR analyst after his full-time driving days, and he does a spectacular job. By the way, the way it's been going lately is Fox covers the first part of the year, and then NBC gets the second part of the year. And this last year, when we went away from Fox, I was kind of mad. Hell, I was kind of pissed off. Time for the swear bucket, because I really liked Fox. I thought those guys were doing a spectacular job. But then the NBC guys came along and they did okay. So anyway, McMurray went to Fox as a NASCAR analyst after his full-time driving time. He has 7 Cup Series victories, and he won the 2010 Daytona 500. Jamie McMurray. Ty Dillon is set to attempt to qualify for the 500. He will not be guaranteed a starting spot in the race since the number 96 Toyota is a non-chartered entry. As a result, he's going to have to qualify in that car in one of the 4 remaining spots in the starting lineup in single car qualifying on Wednesday, February 10th, or in the Blue-Green Vacations Duels on Thursday, February 11th. Good luck, young man. Reigning NASCAR Xfinity Series champion Austin Cindric is set to attempt to make his Cup Series debut in the 2021 season opening Daytona 500. Austin is going to drive the number 33 Ford as he attempts to qualify for the race. Look, if you watched any X races last year, you know this kid is on fire. He is spectacular, and I have no doubt that he will do well. This week's Bonehead Move of the Week goes to 15-year-old. Did you just say 15 years old? 15-year-old ARCA Menard Series driver Taylor Gray. Taylor fell prey to a disease that has afflicted countless among us. It's called social media disease. Taylor took out his camera while he was driving an ARCA car on a racetrack going really fast and thought it would be cool to film that. Okay, that's one thing. And then the really stupid thing is he posted it on social media. He got a $1,000 fine and he's on probation for the entire 2021 season. He posted this video of himself driving around Daytona National Speedway last Friday. He shot it with a handheld device. So if he had the camera in one hand, that means he had one hand on the steering wheel. Listen, kid, I was 15 years old myself once, and I'm 63 now, and I'm still doing boneheaded moves. Don't do that again. NASCAR is going to attempt to regain some normalcy at the season opening Daytona 500 with a live pre-race concert. And the last time I went to a Daytona 500 race, there was a concert, and it was spectacular. This will be the first big performance at a track since the pandemic started. Are you ready for the pandemic to be over? I know I am. I'm ready for my shots. This is going to feature country music superstar Luke Combs. It's going to be spectacular. The Chili Bowl Midget Nationals at the Tulsa Expo Center are in the books. And God almighty, you know, I'd never heard of the Chili Bowl until we started doing this show about a year ago. And man, what fun is that? You know, basketball got started because in the winter, it snows outside and there's really not much to do. So some guy hung up a couple of peach baskets on the end of an open court. And that's where basketball came from. Something you could do in the winter. So the racing crowd, they wanted something to do in the winter too. They decided that they would have a racetrack inside a building with cars, make an exhaust inside a building. And guess what? They were able to do it. They call this race the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals. It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Expo Center. And it was spectacular. It's great fun to watch it. NASCAR star Kyle Larson scored his second consecutive Chili Bowl National win. So congrats to him. And by the way, we are in for a special treat because as I told you, Brandon, aka Big, is under the weather tonight. So guess what we did? We recruited one half of the Hot Grids podcast to come and talk to us about our upcoming event that I couldn't quite talk about yet. So come on up here, sir.
What's up? What's up? I didn't realize I was being recruited to take over half a NASCAR podcast.
Well, we need a professional talker.
A professional talker?
This is Travis Jaudon. He is one half of the Hot Grids podcast. Tell us about that Hot Grids podcast.
Just all about it, or
tell all about it. Tell all about it.
Well, it's a Savannah sports podcast is what its kind of tagline is, but really we focus a lot on the Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Falcons, the Atlanta teams, and the Southeast teams. But lately we've been getting a lot more interviews and media people from around Savannah, people from ESPN, Coastal Radio. Last week we had Jeff Schultz from The Athletic, who's been covering the Braves and Falcons since 1989. So we're getting a lot bigger guests, and I think that's what we're becoming more drawn to is the interview portion of it. But,
sure.
But Spencer and I still mix it up twice a week, and it's been something that we've been proud of, but it's been a lot more work than I think we originally anticipated.
Yeah, it's been a lot more work, yeah. So you're
thankful.
with Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer Maddox is my co-host, and we started this in March 2020, and we will release our 45th episode tomorrow.
Congratulations.
So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
we had these guys up on the teepee when the Atlanta Braves were, in contention. This was here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe. And Travis and Spencer came up, and they did a great show up there. And I was thinking, man, number one, you guys are spectacular, and you're full of energy. You guys actually know what you're talking about. It is cool to have a variety of stuff on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. So we've got the Hot Grids podcast. We've got this show, Rubbin' and Grubbin'. We've got the 19th hole with the two cool. I don't know how to say this. The two cool Herb brothers. The Herb brothers that talk a lot. The Herb brothers that drink a lot. The Herb brothers. The Herb brothers that make. Well, there's actually two more Herb brothers. The other two are just a little bit low key.
Well, can I tell you something about the two 19th hole guys?
Yes.
As I'm coming to pull up to Coach's Corner tonight, I was on the phone with my older sister, and we're talking about other stuff, and I told her I was pulling up to Coach's Corner. She knows about the bowling match coming up, of course, which we'll talk about in a second, I guess.
Yes.
But, I'll cut to the chase. She basically says that we have no chance, Spencer and I, and she's picking the 19th hole guys. My own sister is picking the 19th hole guys.
Really?
To win, yeah. And
what's the odds against them? I saw the odds today. It's pretty
the
steep.
odds are probably moving in Vegas. There's a lot of betting. There's a lot of betting action going around.
So your sister might know something about the Herd Boys.
I don't know if she has an insider or if she's tight with somebody at the bowling lanes, but she knows something, I guess.
So I actually, in disclosure, I haven't bowled in 30 years, but I'm always up for a challenge. Now look here. There is a game that gets played in the Sound Garden here. It's a game you probably never heard of it. It's called Washers. You ever heard of Washers?
No, but maybe I call it something else. What is it?
Well, there's a rectangular box. It's about so big, and in the middle of the box there's a pipe, and you take a metal washer, like an industrial strength washer, and you stand about 15 or 20 feet back and you chuck the washer. And you try to get the washer in the pipe, which is 3 points, or in the box, which is 1 point. And if you can, the Herd Boys are really, really good at washers.
So let me ask you this: is that a game? Is it like cornhole? Do you throw it underhanded?
You do throw. Yes, you do throw it underhanded.
If it's a sport that involves throwing it underhanded, that's not really my forte. I'll be honest.
You throw baseballs overhanded?
Baseball's overhanded. Football's overhanded.
Yes.
I've been known to throw a football a quarter mile.
You know that bowling is a sport where you throw the ball underhanded.
And we are doing this for charity. We're doing this for charity. So I'm changing my ways. We've been training. So I'm learning to go from
Christ, they're training.
Yeah, we've been training for quite a while now. I'm actually going to head to the lanes right after this. Actually, to get some work in.
So what we're talking about, I can turn the page back. So what we're talking about is a really, really great project.
Well, you guys are fancy. You guys got.
We're talking about a great project where we at Coach's Corner on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, we wanted to pay tribute and help support something that's been going on here in Savannah, Georgia for about 32 years now. So here's the backstory. Back in the day, about 1989, maybe 1989, 1990, there's a chain of restaurants here, Spanky's Restaurants. There was a lady that worked at a Spanky's restaurant that got cancer. And she needed to go to a hospital and be taken care of. And her husband needed to go with her. Well, even if you have health insurance, when you are really, really sick, there's just all kinds of ancillary expenses. Who's going to take care of the kids? Who's going to just do all the stuff that has to be done?
Right.
What about the caregiver needs lodging? There's food to be bought. So, like I said, even if you've got health insurance that pays for the hospital bill, which today that's very expensive and it doesn't do a very good job, there's just a lot of other stuff going on. So
meanwhile, you're trying to beat cancer too.
And you're trying to beat cancer. So these guys at Spanky's, one over by the mall, one at the beach, they started this 501c3 charity called Help Save One of Our Own. Now, I got to tell you, I'm going to be careful because I don't want to start freaking bawling here on camera and everything, but these guys help people that are in this area that are really, really in a tough way. And I could tell you that they stepped up to the plate and helped Randy Davis when he got sick. If you know me, if you know Coach's Corner, you know that we had Randy Palooza here, and we helped this young man who went into total kidney failure, and we basically kept him alive, kept his spirits up. And then our girl Becca Spear had a stroke, and it's the same thing. Not enough health insurance, not enough support, and Help Save One of Our Own. When we had the teepee up, there was an announcement. They called one night and said, well, right off the bat, we got $30,000 for you.
Wow.
30 grand cash right here, boom.
Right when you opened the promote or
pay the bills, get the house modified. Here's 30 grand. We got more if you need it.
That's before anybody got their head shaved or anything like that.
They did right, just boom. This is Help Save One of Our Own. It's a local charity. John Henderson heard that. He gets this call. He starts freaking bawling up there. I'm about ready to start bawling now. They had already done this with Randy Davis. So we think like, nobody knows about Help Save One of Our Own, but they're here. They've been here for a long time. And they're kind of like the backstop money. We do our charity events. We're trying to help people. We're having, events here. But there's some deep pockets behind us. And my attorney, Scott Vaughn, is on the board of directors of that. Which I actually called him and said, hey, I need to start a 501c3 so that I can have corporations donate money and have it be tax deductible. He goes, you don't have to, I already have one. I'm on the board. So this is what Coaches is going to be all about all year 2021. We are going to do stuff to help save one of our own.
Let's get after it. Yeah,
we're going to get after it.
We're glad to be a part of the Hot Bets podcast. Will be all for that. Hopefully the bowling thing can be a good.
And we're going to kick it off. And this is what's going to happen with the bowling. It's going to be an old guy and a younger guy against two really young guys, young handsome men that are athletes. And then we've got the coach and the AD, Coach Carl DeMasi and the AD Chad Griffin. They're going to be a team. And the two outgoing Herb brothers are going to be a team. We're going to have 4 teams. All right, on Sunday, February 28th, Rubbin' and Grubbin will participate in the Coach's Corner Sports Network Charity Bowling Challenge against the 3 other shows. And if you want to be in with your team, come on down. Come on and get some. The 19th hole, live with the Herb brothers, the Carl DeMasi Sports Report with the coach and the AD Chad Griffin and the Hot Grits podcast. We'll ballot it out on the lanes for bragging rights. And we want to raise some money for Help Save One of Our Own. This is honestly an awesome charity. If anybody in your family's ever been sick and you've worried about money, if any of your friends has ever been sick and you've worried about money, you know exactly why we're doing this, and you know why I'm talking to you about this right now. This is some serious shit right here in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
We're going to take care of this charity.
I can tell you firsthand, I used to, back in the day, I used to work at Spanky's South Side, and that's when I first heard of Help Save One of Our Own.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, when you hear about a charity or anything like, you sort of just say that's great and move on. But I mean, I saw it. It felt like weekly, monthly. It was affecting in big ways
People that you knew.
And it was people. There were kitchen workers. I know a kitchen worker that had been there for 30 years, used it, and now she's back working there, and I think she's fully recovered.
Good.
To the owners, to the customers. I mean, it's everyone involved with the whole thing.
Yes.
And it's Help Save One of Our Own, so it's aptly named. So I think we're really
cool.
excited. I didn't know until right now, what the charity was going to be, and
good.
We're ecstatic about that. That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad he's here. I'm glad you're here. And you worked there. You worked at the store.
At Spanky's a while ago. Yeah, I was one of the world's worst servers ever. I don't think I was.
That's okay.
Yeah, I never improved at it, but I kept my job there for 2 years somehow. So I think that's a pretty good run.
So
being a bad
I'm thinking this is kind of cool right now. So welcome Travis to the show. And by the way, Big's not here, so man, it was good timing.
You know what? That's curious too, because I saw him count. We were talking some trash about you guys in the bowling match on our.
Yeah, I think somebody said, "We'll bowl you guys in a Walmart parking lot." Did I hear that?
Yeah. I might have said we got carried away. I think
that's okay.
We got carried away, but I don't even know how that would logistically work in a Walmart parking lot.
No, we're going to a bowling alley. Now look here, I ain't bowled in a while.
Out a format, though.
But I flew an $8 million Chinook helicopter with these little fingers right here. So if you can make a Chinook go that way, hell, I can make a big ass ball go that way, right?
Yeah, I don't like. That's not good for us. I don't like that. I didn't know that about you.
Well, we're going to have a big time. Look, you can also be a sponsor of this show, of your favorite show, of your favorite team. We're looking for donations. And because John Henderson owns this venue, he said, you have to include. You can donate like 10 cents a pin, 25 cents, 50 cents, or even $1 a pin. Look, if you're going to support me, I need it to be $1 a pin because there may not be that many pins. We need lane sponsors. Yeah. All donations are tax deductible. This is a 501c3. If you're writing a check, if you're a corporate sponsor, your money is going to Help Save One of Our Own, and they will send you a letter to the IRS that makes your donation tax deductible. When we do our charities and people want to give us big checks, they go, hey, I want to give you a big check, but it needs to be deductible. I go, make the check out to Help Save One of Our Own.
So right now, in order to start, am I messing this up?
You're doing fine.
You guys got a pro setup here.
Just hook that to that string right there, and we're on fire. Listen, we're good. Mine's right there. You're good.
Yeah, I think we're good now, right?
We're good. We're
okay,
perfect.
Yeah. So if you want to donate starting right now, you would just Where do you send the check to?
So you're going to make a check out to help save one of our own, and you're going to bring it to Coach's Corner.
Okay.
And on the subject line, what you should do is you should put the team that you think is like your team. So it's the Hot Grits Podcast.
Right.
Or it's Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Or it's the 19th Hole with the Herb Brothers. Or it's the Coach Carl DeMasi Sports Report.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yeah, and if anybody can't get their check or they want to donate some other way, we'll post on our Facebook page, the Hot Grits Podcast, and share it with Coach's Corner.
Spectacular.
How we can get it, because if you want to donate, we'll make sure we get it and get you, taken care of, even if you can't get the check.
Spectacular.
To Coach's Corner.
So I hope you're feeling that like this sports network that we have here is kind of cool, because it's old guys, it's young guys, it's fat guys, it's thin guys. It's people that know what they're talking about. It's people that don't have a clue what they're talking about. It's all of us. So look, we really there is a promo video for this challenge, and it's on our Facebook page. We are looking for lane sponsors with big balls. If you have big balls, we want you to be a lane sponsor for our bowling challenge.
And I'll accept just average size balls and 2 big balls, just anywhere in that range. It doesn't have to just be big.
Spectacular. Spectacular. All right.
What did you bowl the last time you bowled? Do you remember?
It was like on the wrong side of 100.
Okay.
And it literally, I think.
Give me a scouting report on your partner. What are we looking at?
Now, Big?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I got bad news for you.
I mean, we're talking like
Big is a competitive. Look, first of all, Big, I love you. Big, first of all, Brandon Bain is competitive at every single thing he does. When he's sitting here talking to me about NASCAR, it's competitive conversation.
I love it. That's why I watch you guys.
Big is competitive about it, and Big has entered every single charity barbecue contest that I have ever put on, which I did one for Randy Davis. We did one for Becca. Big is in every single charity barbecue contest.
How has he done in the contest?
He places every single time. Now, has he won?
Ooh, so the championship's eluding him. Huh?
There's a story about this too. So we did this barbecue contest at Coach's Corner. Big, I love you, buddy. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be telling this story. He always does well. And we're having this barbecue contest. We're in the side yard at Cheers to You on Wilmington Island. And I know who the winner is. I know what's happening. And I'm reading the script. And I'm coming up to, I'm going to cover the second place guy, And it was actually a tie for second place. And I'm sitting there with a microphone, and I start, fluffing. It's called the fluff. And I go, listen, I want to talk now about a team, a guy that is in every. And Big is standing about 50 feet away from me, and he's got his back to me. He's got a beer in his hand, he's got his back to me, and I've got this microphone, and I'm looking right at the back of his head when I'm talking. And Big's head starts going like this. He's going like, I did not come in second place for the third freaking time. But he did.
3 times.
He's come in second place 3 times. He actually tied for second. I got a friend getting.
I like the Bills.
There you go. I had another friend who tied with him last night. I said, hey, what can I get you for your wedding? He goes, how about a first place trophy? Because he also comes in second all the time.
You can buy one. You can buy a first place trophy.
It's all good. It's all good. Do you like to cook barbecue?
No, I like to eat it though. But I'll tell you, I can't really think of anything that I could cook and enter into a contest. There's things that I can cook and then I think it's edible.
Yes.
But that's the extent of it. So if it was a barbecue contest, we would be taking part, helping you guys promote it.
Yes.
Maybe be the judges. But
we always need judges. Yes.
We are also at world-class judges at a bunch of things, including barbecue contests. So I think Spencer and I would be on board for that.
Spencer, you just got recruited to be a judge. Because as part of this year's activities, we will have a barbecue contest. I don't know when. It'll be in a cooler month so that it feels good to stand by the fire.
I'd like to find a nice putt-putt course, too.
There is a putt-putt course. It's Bogies on Wilmington Island has a putt-putt course.
Is that still, Bogies is still
Bogies,
out there?
Bogies is full on going on.
That's a tough course. That's a tough track. I've played that back in the day, next to the batting cages, right?
Yes. It's still. You probably went there when you were like 12 years old?
About 12, yeah. Probably about 12.
It's all good. Yeah, Bogies is there, and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. We're going to do a putt-putt at Bogies to help save one of our own.
There it is.
We are going to do that. Man, what fun. What fun. Look here. This show is called Rubbin' and Grubbin'. And rubbing, we talk about racing, but there's no race right now. I mean, other than the Chili Bowl Nationals, which was spectacular. But we don't really have a race to talk about. We are very close to the Daytona 500, and we're having a good time talking about whatever we want to talk about. Hey,
when is the Daytona 500?
the Daytona 500,
25 days?
25 days away. Is that very soon?
You got an early pick, or you guys haven't started that yet?
Well,
I don't want to.
the guy who normally sits in that chair is calling for the number 9, Chase Elliott, to win. I don't know. I think Larson may come back with the. Larson got the boot out of NASCAR.
No. This is foreign language to me. We come to you guys for NASCAR. Like,
Okay,
NASCAR
so there was this kid who he was iRacing, like he was doing online computer racing last year, and he uttered a racial slur without thinking about what he
I remember that.
Yeah, so he got the boot. Like
Right.
his sponsor pulled out, his team fired him, boom, he's gone. He's back. He went to
With a new sponsor, I'm assuming.
he actually has no sponsor right now, but he's back in NASCAR in the Cup car. He's the kid that just won the Chili Bowl National race. They just had that was a race in a building, racing like.
So he's pretty good.
He's a spectacular race car driver. The kid screwed up. Haley Deegan, there's a young girl that just had a car behind her. She uttered. Sometimes they say things without thinking about what they're saying, and they're young.
Right.
And they don't realize that there's millions of people paying attention to every freaking word that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah.
And their mouth gets them in trouble. So Haley Deegan is in trouble right now, and Kyle Larson was in trouble last year. He has gone bent over backwards, gone way above and beyond to say, look, I'm sorry I did that. I'm going to pay my penance. I'm going to spend millions of dollars, to help people. I'll do whatever, I want to say that. And by the way, this kid is like half Asian. He is a mixed race child himself. So, I mean,
I think a lot when this happens to a lot of athletes in any sport, the main thing that's always consistent between each one is that when you first come back out to whatever sport you play, it's going to at least be 50-50, if not everyone hates you. I think of, Mike Vick returning back from
the dog thing,
what he came back from,
yeah.
Tiger Woods and all that. But at some point, if you prove that you're different, if you prove it in front of them booing you, then they usually accept it.
Listen, everybody makes mistakes, and you're going to hear this girl Haley Deegan. She's spectacular.
We got to get you guys on the podcast to preview Daytona 500 because, like I said,
would love to
we
do that.
couldn't name 3 drivers between us, but we are going to gamble on it, and so we need you guys to help us.
I'm going to gamble on it.
So you guys are going to help us make some money that way too.
Listen. If Big was here right now, he would just say Chase Elliott's going to win the race. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Call him. He's calling.
He's feeling kind of puny right this minute. But thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. And now it's time for us to talk about some food. So holy crow, look who's here. Come on.
What's the name of our show?
Our show is called Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing and grubbin' is tasting.
You want to sit down?
No. This is a Pat Summit patty melt.
This is a Summit
Pat
Summit patty melt.
Do you know why it's called the Pat Summit patty melt?
Tell me the story, lovely.
Does he forget about
Well,
it?
she
Tell me
plays basketball, and she's like the #1 ladies basketball
Coach?
champion.
Coach?
Coach.
She was.
Coach?
Yeah.
In the
She was.
coach's corner? Okay.
Yes. So anyway, that's why it's called this.
It's Pat Summit. Okay.
Pat Summit and tater tots.
We have tater tots here at Coach's. Thank you, Karen Kaiser Davidson. It's always a pleasure when you're here with us.
Don't worry about me, guys.
When you come to Coach's Corner,
When Big's here, he gets a full pallet. He gets everything.
that's actually me that orders that.
Okay. All right. Let's see that.
We tried to get it gripped, but they were out.
We also have tots. And look here, you can get our tots with all kinds of stuff on them, like chili, cheese, whatever, green peppers, whatever. This is our patty melt. It is spectacular. The way this came to be up on this table tonight was somebody ordered one when we were sitting around, having our pregame show, and we said, well, we'll do a patty melt tonight. They are absolutely delicious. It's got melted cheese on there. Man, it is that good. You will never go wrong with a Coach's Corner patty melt. So listen, guys, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you, Travis.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I watch you guys all the time. I cannot wait to get on here with.
I'm going to confess that the first podcast that I've actually heard was when you guys were talking smack about the bowling thing, and I was like, you guys are good. I got to start listening to this. I'm not really I'm a retired
helicopter. That makes me nervous because there was some trash talking prior to that as well.
It's all good. It's all good.
Don't go back and back.
It's all good.
Brandon has the 235 average.
Is that real? Okay, so we are.
I almost got to 100.
That's, we're not going to fare well if that's the case. I don't know.
But we're going to, listen,
we need to figure out.
We're going to make money and we're going to have fun.
Do we combine scores?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe then.
Oh, I thought it was best ball. Like golf, best ball. If he's good and I suck.
It can't be like golf because we're bringing several personal hype men to talk during y'all's back throw right as you're about to throw.
Yes.
And so hopefully that affects you. We'll have a guy down the lane that pops out the lane and kicks your ball periodically out of the way. So hopefully
that won't affect me. I've had people shoot at me while I was flying a helicopter in the lane.
About that. That's undefeated. I'm not.
I just focus on the ball. I just focus on the ball. No, it's all good. Be the ball. All right, thanks, guys. Listen here. Stay tuned for the Coach Carl DeMasi Sports Report with Coach Carl DeMasi and the AD, Chad Griffin. The coach and the AD do a spectacular job, and we are asking all of our fans to go to their YouTube channel, please, and subscribe to their show. Let me tell you how it's easy. When you're looking at YouTube, this is what you got to do. If you're looking at YouTube on your TV, you click on your little clicker, you go up, there's 3 little dots. You hit the 3 little dots, and it pops up a little menu, and one of them says, do I like this video? That takes about 1/8 of a second to do that. And then you go click to the right, and there's a thing that says, like this channel. And you go click, and you like the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't mean anything to you, but it means a lot to them. Because YouTube keeps track of you liking a channel. That means a huge thing to those people that are doing that work to produce that material, and it doesn't cost you anything, doesn't hurt. So please go and do that. And by the way, freaking like our channel too, and like their channel too.
Do that because Spencer and I have talked about this on the podcast before. You see how many people are listening, then you see how many people are subscribing. There's a big gap in between. So
doesn't cost anything. It doesn't hurt. It's not like getting the shot. Just go ahead and freaking subscribe.
They're resisting at all costs. They're revolting at all costs, but that's all right.
And by the way, if you say I would subscribe, but I don't like what's going on the channel, freaking drop a comment. Say, hey, you guys suck, but you'd be better if you'd do this. We read the comments.
Subscribe and then mute it if you'd like. Subscribe and click the watch button.
There you go. Absolutely. So, again, I'm going to say thank you so much to Travis Jaudon.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
That's pretty good.
Travis, is that a French name?
It is a French origin. We don't want to go there because it's kind of a rich history, a lot there, but yeah, it's French.
Awesome.
You got it.
Travis
better
Jaudon.
than most.
Travis Jaudon.
Yes.
With
Spencer Maddox.
With Spencer Maddox is the Hot Grits podcast. They are one of the long poles in the tent on the Coach's Corner Sports Network.
What is that?
I've
never heard of long.
How can they find them, Dave?
I'm going to circle back to long pole in the tent. But
I'm a retired soldier.
To find us I feel like a lot of people hear the word podcast and they're like, well, I don't know how to do all that.
Yeah, how do people do that?
It's if you're on your phone, you can go to your browser, the way you search anything.
Yeah, that search bar right there.
Type in the Hot Grits podcast.
The Hot Grits podcast.
And it'll give you a list of things.
Yes.
Google, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, TuneIn, Podbean, or you can just stream it from anchor.fm/hotgrits.
Anchor.fm/hotgrits. Yeah, it's there. You can Google it and it's there.
Right, and we do.
If you're totally flummoxed by all this, call Coach's Corner and ask for help.
Right, in the middle of a dinner rush, call and ask for John Henderson and tell them Rubbin and Grubbin sent you if you call during rush hour.
Well, big son, brother, I love you. You're going to be back next week. Listen, I freaking love you, dude. I miss you. I'm glad this kid showed up to sit in your seat because I'm going to need you to come and help me whip some bowling alley ass.
Yeah, We're gonna change our tune on the after hearing 235. That I'm gonna discuss it with Spencer. We're gonna change our tune.
Oh no, keep talking smack.
Might actually see if he's interested in a trade of some
Keep
sort.
talking smack. You don't know. One thing I've learned from being in combat, you never know who's going to rise up to the challenge. Listen, the guy that you think is a loser in the unseen turn of events rises up to the challenge. Will it be a 63-year-old has-been? Will it be a young stud? Nobody knows. But I guarantee you that bowling alley championship is going to be freaking spectacular, and you're going to want to be there. I'm Dan Foulds.
I'm Travis Jaudon.
And this is Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Until next time, be safe, be careful, and wash your hands.
Is that the outro? I love that.
Good job. Good job.
And I'm Dan Foulds.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
I don't.